Hi guys. So my last two videos I guess have been a bit erratic and discombobulated and confusing perhaps, and that's because that's how I've been feeling. And then normally I wouldn't do a video, you know, when I'm going through a major shift, a major purge. Normally I wouldn't do a video, but for some reason I really did feel compelled to do the last two videos that I've done, which I'm not really quite sure why that is, and I guess that will become apparent later on. I've been feeling pretty awful, it's got to be said, and obviously I'm doing some DIY soul retrieval here because it always comes with this type of energy of massive resistance and rage and anguish and resistance and wow. But whenever I'm going through it, I often find lots of other people and even my cats are going through it, because the cats have been all over the place, really just nervous and restless and meowy and wanting to be fed at 2 o'clock in the morning, and off the bed, out the cat flap, in the cat flap, bellowing, scratching, itching. It affects everything. This is the energy of awakening. This is the energy of cleansing. It's the energy of purging. It's the energy of healing, of going within the maze and facing the proverbial minotaur, which is the shadow aspects of ourself. You know, and in fact, it was about a week ago, and I was driving in a car, and I came across this guy on a bike with a helmet on. He was wearing a helmet with two red bits, taped bits like that. It was really strange. It was like, what the heck is that about, you know? It was like a motorcycle helmet. But that image is very resonant with me because it symbolizes the obstruction, the hijack, you know, of our consciousness, the tortuous twisting of our perceptions and who and what we are and why we're here, and the nature of evil and manipulation and the true path to liberation. And somehow all of that popped into my head, and that guy went past me, and it was like, whoa. And then I looked to my right, and there was a little inlet, a little harbour there with boats, and it said Dawn Fog Dreamcatcher. Oh, needless to say, I wrote it down in my little book of synchronicity. Triggers, catalysts happen, like I said just previously, because it is the only way to heal. It's the only way to launch the boil. It takes us to the aspects of ourself that are still lingering in darkness, that need to be lovingly helped, coaxed back into the light. And that is what that is, really. But it can be extremely hard. Now, this is, you see, where the law of attraction got it all wrong. Because, you see, we don't create from our conscious thoughts and our conscious state of mind. We create and manifest from our subconscious, and that is where the law of attraction got it all wrong. That is where Louise Hay got it all wrong. And Louise Hay, well, never mind. 2 words. No, 3. Shitloads of plastic surgery, so that tells you something. Anyway, that doesn't really matter, it's irrelevant. And, you know, it's all because these type of manipulations of truth are everywhere. Yet for those of us who are truly souled and truly on the path, we find these things along the way, and they do serve us, albeit in a kind of roundabout sort of way. You know, the lies lead into the truth eventually, and it's very interesting how that works. But suffice to say that we manifest, yes, we do manifest our reality, yes we do, and we do it from our subconscious, and this is why this clearing process is taking place now, because the end of evil, the end of the hijack is here. It's interesting because the more evil puts up a fight, the more we will see it for what it is, the more we will somehow release it as well from within us, because losing my number plates, having to go to the police station, coming home finding out that my phone for some reason wasn't working, and then the next day it was absolutely fine, really strange. You know, lots of other stuff happened as well, little triggers. Now, I did feel a sense of psychic attack. I did feel a sense of fuck, evil always wins. I did feel that victim-y energy and that self-beating up type of energy. All of it. And I still feel it a bit today as well. Did not have a good night last night. But there is more clarity again today as well, telling me that, hey, can you see now? Can you see it now? Can you see how there is that aspect that is just refusing to let it go? It wants to believe that evil always wins, and it wants to feel sorry for itself, and it wants to be at war consciousness. And that's where the release comes in, the healing, which takes, it can take days, hours, minutes, weeks. And then perhaps it's down to another layer for another bit of self aspect retrieval, until all that has been done, and that is the ultimate gateway of reset, because these are the millstones, the shackles. It's that which keeps us perpetually stuck in this matrix. Yeah. I can feel, yes, a little lighter, a little bit more love, a bit more a sense of trust. It's the hardest thing to do, is to feel the trust when you're going through a massive purge, because you feel so abandoned and afraid and angry. And that, because that is what we've had, guys, you know, that is what we've been through. We have known that, and that is familiar. And you know that saying, right? Better the devil you know. Yeah, that really plays out. Better the devil you know. And so it all comes down to this. Every single time we go through another cycle of this, it's like, it is a bit Groundhog Day-ish, you know, because it's like, well, haven't I been here before? Yes, you have, but you're deeper in now. The deeper we go, the higher we soar. And every time, it's that better the devil you know versus take a leap of faith. That's it. And we always end up taking a leap of faith, because we are courageous warriors of the light. So anyway, that's all for today. Just a little checking in. It's interesting, the image I had in my head was of a woman dressed in black cloaks. Couldn't see her face, it was all hidden behind a cloak, like her head was slightly down and it was all shrouded. And I was going after her and I was beckoning her and I was saying, come with me, come out. And she was in a maze and she kept doing a left and a left and a left and further into darkness, and just wasn't having any of it. That is the image I saw. And then I did a tarot card reading, the Chrysalis Tarot, and I got the Death card, Ariadne, the Maze, which is interesting. Soul Retrieval, people, you know, better the devil you know. Ooh, better stay in the darkness. It's safer that way, because all the bad things are going to happen anyway, so we might as well just expect the worst now, punishing ourselves. Or taking a leap of faith and letting go. You know, it's let go a little bit. Just, you know, baby steps. Gently does it. Let go a little more. Allow a little bit more loving. A little bit more trust. What if things do actually work out? What if love really is magical and powerful? What if this actually is about healing? You know, gently does it. And I think that is taking a leap of faith. We're not expected to be able to just do that and then beat yourself up for not being able to trust, because that's just not right. I mean, it's very, very hard to trust for severely wounded beings, which is what we are. Trust is like, what? Fuck off, you can't trust. Look what I've been through, look what's happening to me now, look the situation I'm in. It's true, I know. It's really, really hard. So trust, the leap of faith, is something that we do with great gentleness and patience and love. And so that is what I'm going to be focusing on today. Also, I said something yesterday which all came out wrong, and I was watching my own video and I thought, that sounds all wrong. When I went on about ascension, I said, I don't like the followers of ascension. I didn't mean that. I meant to say the doctrine of ascension. The people, no problem. Yeah, I don't have a problem with anybody. Well, that's not strictly speaking true, obviously, but I don't want to imply that it was just, maybe it was a Freudian slip, because there's still that war consciousness, you know. I don't like you because of what you believe, and it's just like, oh, Nika, let that go, let that go, let that go. It's in us, you know, it's virus, it's war. It wants us to be in perpetual conflict with ourselves and with everything and everybody around us all the time, and I'm aware of that. I'm not free from that yet, but I can see it, and I know it's ascension. I'm always wary of anything that has a herd following. There are truths, there are pearls in it, for sure. Even the event, there are some pearls in it. I take those, I leave the rest. I do the best I can with that, you know. We all want reset or an event or ascension, whatever word you choose to use, you know, and we deserve it. We have been doing this for long enough. Now then, there may be people who still want to do this 3D thing, and that's fine too, and that's entirely up to them. But for a lot of us, you know, we are here now to do this DIY soul retrieval, to go through the gateways, which is what every level is. It's a gateway into greater true self, into greater power, greater awareness, because we're building up the fuel, as it were. You know, we're gathering the gifts for every level completed, every gateway that we go through. We gain more power, we receive more gifts, more insight, more knowledge, more power, till we get to a point eventually where it's reset. That is what I feel anyway. And so even if it's really hard going, it's well worth it. So yeah, loving patience, little steps, but yes, the leap of faith, definitely. All right, people. Toodaloo.